So, as you guys are aware, because I've gone into this at length, Politicon up until now has not been all that great in terms of professionality and just setting everything up correctly, having the right times, and having, most importantly, we need to know who the heck is going to be debating before the actual debates are going to happen. It's insane to not have the debates known like 2 weeks prior. So I guess David Pakman's not even going to be doing a 1v1 debate anymore. I don't know if he ever was. I'm confused. But, we never knew who the heck he was going to be debating. And so we figured that, he was going to be doing something with Roaming Millennials, a 1v1. And it turns out that's going to be a panel with Roaming Millennial on it. At least it's panel, it's not even a debate. But upon that, he expanded, saying that we're expecting to, or it supposedly has been confirmed, that we're going to be doing a 2v2. It's going to be Kyle Kulinski and myself versus Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. Now, that would have been really awesome. But Candace Owens backed out, of course. She is really, really stupid. So is Charlie Kirk. So I'm assuming that's why she did that. And apparently, it's not actually a debate, it's a panel. But a 2v2 debate between David Pakman and Kyle Kulinski versus Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, it would be insanely popular. It obviously would, right? Everyone would be so excited to watch it. I would have watched that entire debate. That would have been pure gold to people who are fans of either side, either side of the, people in new media. People who are conservatives would have been, fans of Charlie Kirk and stuff, and, lefties would have been fans of David and Kyle. Now, it turns out that's not going to happen because Candace Owens backed out. Charlie Kirk, as of right now, is still on the panel, but who actually knows, when this is, how this is going to go exactly. So, Kyle Kulinski was scheduled to do a debate with Ann Coulter. Turns out that's not going to happen. Turns out that Ann Coulter backed out. And as I explained, Ann Coulter backing out, obviously it's, an unethical thing to do because it's like you promised to do something and you're now backing out less than 2 weeks ago. Now, you're not forced to do any debate that is proposed, but the time to decide not to do a debate is not 2 weeks prior to the actual debate itself. The time to decide that is when it is proposed to you and prior to the agreement being made. So you're supposed to decide before the agreement is actually made. Once you agree to it, you're supposed to fulfill what you said. Now, the thing is a lot of the blame has to go on Politicon because the issue is it's on Politicon. The onus is on Politicon to have a system where everything is set up correctly. It'd be like the Lions deciding they're not going to play in an NFL game. That's mostly on the NFL, honestly, because it's like it's on you to set this up. You promised us this. You're the organizer, etc., etc. Anyways, we found out Ann Coulter backed out. Very weak move, and we find out Kyle Kulinski is going to be debating Scotty Nell Hughes. Now, I didn't know who Scotty Nell Hughes was. Apparently, she was a political pundit who was a Trump supporter who became popular through being on CNN and being a Trumpy. So that got her popular. And so he's going to be debating her. But in that video, he actually explains that because I know a lot of you guys were disappointed that he's going to be debating Scotty Nell Hughes because it's like, who the heck is Scotty Nell Hughes, right? I know that some of you guys did know who she was, but I, honest to God, did not know who she was. And so he says that he had floated all of the names that we had wanted him to float. Because who do we want Kyle to debate? Ben Shapiro, obviously, right? We want to see that. That would have been an awesome, really, really sick debate between Kyle and Ben Shapiro. That would be, insanely popular, right? That would have been really exciting. Turns out, and I'll talk about this again in another video too, that he passed, and that he also floated the names of Tommy Lahren and Candace Owens. Now, Candace Owens is who we're going to be zoning in on here today because Kyle did a clapback over on Twitter. So Candace Owens sent out this tweet. It's a picture a picture of her with Kanye West, and with Charlie Kirk, and some other three dudes. And it says, "We just made history in Washington, D.C. I am so unbelievably proud of my friend and fellow warrior. Today was a glorious day for freedom, and this is just the beginning. Big announcement next week." And then Kyle, because again, Candace Owens was offered a debate by Kyle Kulinski, one on one. Not only did she decline that, but she backed out of a panel debate that has Kyle and David on it. So Kyle quote tweets that saying, quote, "Fellow warrior is a bizarre thing to say given that you passed on a one-on-one debate with me at Politicon. Why not join Charlie Kirk on the panel with me and David Pakman? Are you a warrior for conservatism or not? Let's find out." So he is out and out calling her out because she's essentially, claiming to be this sort of, fellow warrior. I don't know if I think she's referring to Kanye. I don't think she's referring to Charlie Kirk, and I don't think that that's what Kyle was doing either. But the point here being is that the idea is that she's this warrior for freedom and conservatism, which I guess she finds to be hilariously and laughably synonymous, of course. But he is trying to say that you claim to be this supposed warrior for conservatism, yet you are backing out of a 1v1 debate with myself. And on top of that, you have backed out of a panel which would have David Pakman on it, and that Charlie Kirk is already going to be on. Charlie Kirk is supposedly the smartest guy Candace Owens knows, and actually I want to make this clear too. I'm not even sure if Charlie's going to end up staying on there, on that panel. I have a really bad feeling that he's going to pull out last second, obviously because we know what's been going on with Politicon. But on top of that, I mean, it's Charlie Kirk. I don't know if he really wants to bury himself by being on a panel with Kyle and David, but that one should be interesting. But Kyle absolutely going after Candace Owens, just putting her completely on blast. Now, I don't know if this tweet got to her attention or not, but I have to say it is pretty cowardly, especially because we know that Candace Owens invited Chris Evans to a debate at Politicon, so she was clearly trying to reach out for some more exposure. And so she, Chris Evans is the dude who plays Captain America, and Chris Evans had gone after Kanye West because Kanye West made a very stupid statement about the 13th Amendment and abolishing it. And so he did a clap back on Twitter, and she got really angry. Basically, Candace Owens' shtick is this fake, I don't care what celebrities think, because what she does is she says, I don't care what celebrities think, except for when they agree with me. And this is something that a lot of Republicans employ, by the way. It's not just her. She's just kind of, I want to say, revolutionized it in a certain different way. Because like when Ben Shapiro says, he's been ranting against Hollywood and saying these celebrities should stay out of politics. They don't know anything. But when Chris Pratt goes up and I believe it was I forgot what award show it was at, maybe the Oscars, and he praised God and talked about religion. Ben Shapiro was his panties were dripping. So it's not as if they genuinely don't care what they say. What they want is they want them to say what they believe in. Their core disagreement with these actors and these Hollywood celebrities is not, it's not your place to comment or due to some lack of it, which I disagree with, by the way. I think that they're not experts in anything, but anybody's political opinion is their political. But everyone has a right to their own political opinion. It can be argued, and I'm totally fine with that if you want to argue with them. But some conservatives try to say like celebrities can't have an opinion. I'm like, what? What? How? What? What does that even mean? Like, you can argue them to the death about whether or not they're actually correct, but to say that they can't actually have an opinion is insane. But basically, what we're looking at here is I'm going to be talking about this because it is really, really, really contradictory and hypocritical for all of these conservatives to shout and scream about debate, The left is too scared to debate, and now it has been uncovered. And David Pakman still hasn't gave his testimony yet either. So we don't know all the info about who all, chickened out of debating with David Pakman 1v1. I'm interested in hearing about that. Additionally, we're still trying to figure out about Sam Cedar, because Sam Cedar hinted that, I don't know whether it was at Politicon or somewhere else, maybe standalone, I don't know, something to do with the debate with Steven Crowder, in which he's implying that Steven Crowder backed out of. So, and then we have a string of Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, and Tommy Lahren all backing out. All of them. Every single one of them. So it's just massively hypocritical to be, debate. The lefties don't want to debate. And when push comes to shove, who's the one who actually wants to debate? It looks like it's the people on the left, because Kyle and David are the people. Like, Kyle struggled. He struggled to get a conservative. Think about that. Try to comprehend that. The wing that is supposedly dominating debates and wants to debate everyone and is having trouble finding lefties to debate. Somehow, it's the lefty who actually struggled. He literally is giving Scotty Nell Hughes props, because it was difficult to find a conservative to debate at Politicon. Think about how insane that is. This man is looking for a debate, and he could not find one. He could not find one for his life. So don't ever, I repeat, ever try and act like the Republicans and the right wing is all about this debate that. Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro and Tommy Lahren on the front lines defending conservatism in the new age. Don't give me any of that. Like, the saying is put up or shut up. And they have to shut up now, because they're not putting up.